Good morning, guys, and girls too, because yes, we are seeing female patients. We don't advertise it because we don't need to. Essentially, we were inundated with requests from current patients to apply the same methodology that we apply to males as we do with females. So yes, microdosing HRT, balancing testosterone and estradiol injections against progesterone. I'm not going to lie, women, this is a once only time thing I'm going to say, are less complicated than men. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but it's true when it comes to HRT, because the menstrual cycle is actually very complicated, but its primary role is procreation. And when it comes to HRT, the primary role of HRT is balancing estradiol and testosterone against progesterone, which is a lot more simple than optimizing men. The reference range of estradiol is quite vast compared to testosterone in males, so there is less fine-tuning. Women are used to their emotions. Men are not used to their emotions. With low testosterone, the low mood, the anxiety, the depersonalization, the tiredness, the low libido, it's all unusual. With women, they've had these fluctuations for years. So when they've got symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, they've already been preempted. It doesn't make their suffering any less real, but they are aware of their hormones and they just want to feel better. Men want to feel optimized. So is there anything wrong with that? No, of course there's not. So as we've said before, anabolic processes predominate at nighttime, catabolic processes predominate in the daytime. Day, night, day, night, day, night. We can further subdivide the day into being predominantly sympathetic in the first part, activity and catabolic, to transition into more restful anabolic and parasympathetic states after you've caught your food, you've earned your reward. So this fluctuation that happens naturally for men makes our lives incredibly simple. Groundhog Day, go hunt, go gather, take it back to the tribe, bit of nookie, sleep, repeat. Testosterone positively impacts a part of the brain called the amygdala. It is the decision-making part of the brain. It makes us less risk adverse. So it makes us do risky things. Now, in what situation would that be beneficial? Yes, hunting makes us more effective hunters. It also makes us slightly expendable. It doesn't make us less important, but we are slightly expendable because we need to provide for the tribe. And yes, I'll say this one more time and only once. Women are perhaps more important than men. Because they have to nurture the children, bring them up, we are replaceable. But as I said, we are not less important, really. We need to make ourselves important or invaluable, because we are one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. So what have you got to do? Well, you've got to look after yourself. With low testosterone, you're putting the effort in, hopefully, but not seeing the reward. You've perhaps not bothered because you haven't seen the reward. And that's quite well, why would you bother training if it made you feel even worse? Because I know I'm supposed to. But with low testosterone, you'll drive your anabolic capacity into a worse off state by being catabolic. So we talk about these contrasting processes, anabolic versus catabolic. And paradoxically, with clinically low testosterone, if you exercise, and we all know we need to exercise, you can actually make yourself worse. You need to look at the sleep. And if you think about anything, I would say the level of importance, sleep is number one, then nutrition, then exercise. So why is sleep important? Because we're recovering from the day to prepare for the next day, and your anabolic processes predominate at nighttime. So you must have good sleep. So are you just in an anabolic state at nighttime? In a parasympathetic state? Of course you're not. So what is life about? Yin yang contrast to establish harmony. So if you were purely in an anabolic state, in a parasympathetic state at nighttime, what would happen if that saber-toothed tiger came up to you? You'd be eaten. So what happens in obstructive sleep apnea? Your oxygen saturations drop. So what happens? Your brain recognizes this, and it's got a low level of catecholamines bubbling. Do we need to wake up? Do we need to wake up? We're snoring, oxygen saturations are dropping. But often or not, you don't wake up. Sometimes you do, and you often mistake needing to pee as a prostate problem with it actually being of sleep apnea. But again, life is about contrast, but understanding that we need to have the capacity to be catabolic and sympathetic in an anabolic and parasympathetic state. And conversely, in an active state, you're predominantly catabolic and you've got your sympathetic drive firing, but you have the capacity to be anabolic. So with low testosterone, the seesaw analogy that we've used before is distorted, and you often have that irritability, and we don't want to be irritable. We want to have a cool, calm, collected response to the situation. So when we've gone from low testosterone to normal testosterone, understanding the titration process is necessary, then we want you to be cool, calm, and collected in any situation. But it is, again, up to you. You can still see the glass as half empty or glass half full. It's perspective. So choose to see the glass as half full. Incredibly important to realize that testosterone is not a magic cure. And if it was, it wouldn't really be worth it, would it? You want to decide. You want to consciously wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be a good day. So let's make today a good day by little wins. Compounding, compounding, compounding. So if something bad happens, you brush it off. So testosterone, the foundation hormone, gives you that base. It gives you that chronicity, the ability to use your noggin and your nervous system effectively to be a productive member of society, to look after yourself, to fill your cup before you fill the cup of others. You need to lead by example. If you're feeling miserable, you project that miserable feeling onto the world. And what do you get back? You might get back a little bit of sympathy and empathy, but eventually people get bored. So you need to take affirmative action and seek support from somebody that will be objective. A doctor, an actual doctor who can be objective in your subjective experience. As I say, I'm very privileged to have been sat in my chair and listened to all of your stories. And I've learned so much, and I continue to learn, to hopefully allow you to take the positive strides and steps necessary for you to take control of your life. I am here to simply titrate your dose according to effect. You are there to put the effort in to earn your reward. How often? Every day. Your body doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care about your working week, the weekend. You need to live by principles, not rules, because if you live by rules and not principles, that dogma will lead to harm, because you can't live by rules in this modern world. So, men are harder than women when it comes to dose titration. Aye. So, what are you going to do? Put the effort in to earn your reward. Don't know what I'm doing now.